Yeah.
Yeah, what's good? What's good?
What up, what up, what up? Fresh Code Podcast. It's your main man, Oski Woski 3000.
Yo, this your boy Mike Williams. First, shout out to the engineer, the in-house light man / the in-house tech guy, Oski, for this whole setup, man.
Listen, we shooting live from Studio Den. But anyway, it's been a while since we recorded together, and March 9th just passed, Biggie's death just passed, so in commemoration of his death,
yeah,
I got a little...
in honor, the Coogie sweater
Coogie
is on.
So, this Fresh Code Podcast, we talk about everything fresh in the culture, music, art, whatever that's fresh, that's related, that influenced by some type of creation, art, fashion, music. So, a couple of things we're going to cover today. So,
sure.
We might be going, turn up on them a little bit and get straight into this March 9th, Biggie pass,
Yeah, the influence is still here. It's still strong. Just think that back in 97, the late great artist, he left this earth, and he still has an imprint on the fashion industry and on influence of different designers and brands as a whole, and even like everyday street style.
Yeah.
So you still see, Tim's, Coogie's, Kangols, oversized shades, Versace swagger, and right now, and it really seems like it's not going anywhere. So he kind of foreseen this style, adopted this style that was, a little ahead of his time, but it was just perfect that he was able to usher it in through his music and through his legacy as well.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Coogie is actually, suing the Brooklyn Nets, Nike, and New Era. They're in a battle right now over it's a Biggie Smalls inspired jersey. It's called Spread Love, the City Edition. So the jersey that they wear is like an alternative jersey, and it actually features like some of the Coogie design, like some of the ornamental designs and distinct features as far as like the colorways and just the patterns of the stitch style. And so the Australian brand is definitely going at Brooklyn Nets,
and
Nike, and New Era.
Yeah.
Because Nike, they actually
made the jerseys.
They made the jerseys and
for this season.
Yeah, exactly.
See, I didn't know that. I didn't know that that was even an issue, but it's just so crazy how they can trademark this style of stitching. So anything that's remnants of it, or anything that's somewhat
that's in relative,
yeah. And then you connect Biggie to it, and we knew Biggie
was
Coogies.
Like a face.
Yeah, so it's like
for that brand.
They want their cut. They're like, nah, we gotta eat too. So it's a crazy thing.
But it's definitely classic style, and it's something that's that's here forever to stay. Yeah.
So on that note, we're going to talk about trends in fashion,
collaborations, some, spring collections for 2019 that's coming up. 2019 has been a little quiet so far, but we see Pharrell, he's about to shake things up with
Pharrell,
with Chanel,
which is a capsule, which is their first time doing men's wear, like really doing like a men's capsule. No, they have pieces that men could wear. They have like some sweaters, some hoodies that's pretty much like unisex, and like the shoes. Like I love Chanel sneakers. They make men's sizes, but sometimes the colors are a little bit better for women. Yeah. So what I do is I order my size and the women's that they made, and they look good.
Yeah. So what about the Chanel sneakers that you actually mind? Like what about the features?
So here I have a Chanel bag.
So we got a couple props going on right now. All right.
Box, of course. This one is different shades of purple. And what I like about it is the quality of the suede. It's a good quality. To me, is a more, how can I say, sleek design to the chunky shoe. Like, it's like, it's not chunky, but it gives you the effect of the trend of the chunky shoe.
Yeah, like the sole design. The upper is still slim.
Yeah,
like it's not as wide. The back isn't like overextended.
Exactly. It's
back of the sole.
It's actually more functional, more comfortable. I feel
more stylish. Yeah. Like I really like these. Like I've always been a big fan of like pastels and like even like weirdly to say, but even like lavender, like the hue of lavender is just like, I mean, it's sexy to me, man. Like it's fucking like it's fire, man.
So,
but these I really like though.
So this girl was like, "Oh, you're gonna be looking like a bad bitch," and I was like, "Yo, you don't get out of here." like, you know, like a lot of dudes ain't gonna have this on. You know what I mean, a lot of dudes not gonna have at least this color. And like, I feel like I'm gonna kill it.
I feel like it's something you could play with for the spring and the summer.
Yeah,
it's a statement piece.
I'm gonna definitely hit them with some camouflage with this.
And you don't even need to really do too much as well because I mean, it's Chanel. Like,
I don't gotta do much.
You know,
this is one of those instances where you let the shoe do the work for the outfit.
It speaks for itself. It speaks for itself. It's like, you know, speak first in this instance. But I really dig those, man. Yeah, for sure.
So, and they're comfortable. They are comfortable.
Yeah, so, comfort is a must. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know?
So,
and then
we have another collab, Virgil with Louis Vuitton that dropped this year, and we have some likes and dislikes about what he dropped. Pause.
So the Louis Vuitton, what is this particularly called? Like, what is the name for this design? Is it like the 408?
It's 408 because the crazy is, I went to the pop-up shop that they had of Chrome Hearts.
Okay.
And the girl said that they took about 6 or 7 hours per shoe. And it's handmade, and recently they've been running ads showing, you know, like the shoes being handmade per shoe. So there's a lot of time being put into the shoe. You see the quality of the leather is really good. The stitching is pristine.
Yeah.
It has elements of Louis Vuitton's birthday on here. So the 4 is the month, and the date is for his birthday. That's where the 408 comes from. I didn't even know that. The bottom of the sole, I actually wore these, so please excuse. But the bottom of the sole has Vuitton. So it's sporty and is remnants of a lot of features from the Michael Jordan 3s. And the girl said, well, I should say that the sales rep that was my personal shopper for that day informed me that this shoe is Virgil's favorite piece of the whole collection. You can see some of the monograms at the bottom, and also the Louis Vuitton signature. So, and it has advanced tech system in the shoe. So the shoe is a very comfortable shoe. It's almost like a basketball sneaker, you know, more than a fashion shoe. It's like really like looks like a very nice basketball sneaker. And we can compare it to our 3s.
To the influencer, the Nike Air Jordan Retro 3 cement, and you see a lot of similarities as well. From the sole to different features, the same hue, almost the same hue of gray.
Yeah, and, real similar hues of the gray.
Yeah, very similar. The upper design, even the sole.
The soles,
yeah, the outsole. So you see the influence here, and
you definitely see the influence.
You know, Jordan has been influencing the sneaker game for a while now.
Yeah,
for over 30 years.
It's crossed over to
high end
fashion, as you can see.
So man, shout out to Virgil for paying homage to Louis Vuitton and also to MJ.
And of course, you know, he's from Chicago, so I know in the back of his mind, you know, that like has some type of effect of his design process going back to his childhood probably in the Jordan 3s and now being able to design for Louis Vuitton. So it kind of all ties in together pretty well.
Yeah, for sure. And I guess it's just a passageway to, you know, take you back to a point in time in history or in sports or in fashion, you know, as well. So that's a good connection that Virgil made on this one. Yeah. And I feel like the design isn't too much of like a copy and paste. Like he added his own style influence into the Louis Vuitton version. Yeah. So you know, and he gave it a little more height, strap as well.
Yeah,
so,
the strap is a good feature on the sneakers. So
he you know, he took a blueprint and ran with it.
This is the Barney's catalog.
Yeah, that's the Barney's catalog, spring 2019. I had a chance to glance over it once or twice, and you know, like I'm pretty much impressed by the colors, you know, because it's springtime.
So. Right. So you know what's so crazy? A color that I've been seeing that I feel like is the new color, like how they say the new black or whatever. Yeah. It's like that neon green, almost like the frozen yellow Yeezys, like the neon green. Yeah. For women especially, like a lot of that lime neon green. It's like a color that I've seen in suits for women, even like the sweatsuit type things. That little trend that females have now, where they wear that with like a high heel shoe or pump or whatever. Like it's like that's really like a look like a real casual athletic look, and dress it up with a pump and shoe. Like it looks sexy a little bit. I ain't gonna hold you. You know what I mean? It definitely looks sexy a little bit.
Sure.
You know? So those are some things.
Yeah, man. Like spring. Like what I noticed, like some of the trends, I see a lot of like relaxed, baggy fit.
Yeah,
coziness going on.
I don't want to go back to baggy. I'll be real with you.
Yeah.
I don't, but I do kind of.
Sometimes less is more. You know what I mean? You know, as far as like fit wise, like you know, less material, less baggage, bagginess. But like I do, you know, like a couple of trends that's going on as far as like Well, wait, what can I say? Like Korean, Tokyo, like they have a lot of like style influence right now. So you know, like they're really like trying to spearhead this.
So what makes you say that
as well? They pretty much. I mean, I put it like this: like they're influenced by street style. They have their own way of street style. It's basically meshed up between like. American street style mixed with European and their own like kind of way. So like I really like how they they gravitate towards brands and different styles that we normally might not, So like I really I respect what they're doing as far as like just being different, just being different. But like they're always on the scene to check out, what's the latest and the greatest or whatever that's going on in fashion. So
I feel like this microphone is like blocking you, like.
Oh yeah. Nah.
There you go.
All right.
A little bit better.
So like you still see a lot of like floral prints.
Floral.
Yeah. Like camo isn't going anywhere.
No.
So you see that in the spring collections very strong. A lot of geometric design as well. I like ACW, a Cold Wall. Like I think they're not mentioned enough, but like their creative director, he has a background in architect, so a lot of their design is influenced by like architecture. Even the collab that they did with Nike, I thought was pretty cool. It had like a extra like piece in the back of like the heel of the sneaker, but like a lot of people they'll look at it and assume that it's too chunky or whatever to wear to sports.
I'm not a fan of the chunky sneaker.
Yeah, like it's real tough to wear.
Like I like the Versace colors, Versace creative director for like the menswear is a young black male. I don't know his name over it, but I know he come from the Kanye camp. He'll work with the
I think 2 Chainz has a pair.
Yeah, he
of
course he
as well.
definitely 2 Chainz has a collaboration with them, and he has his own design pair. So I like the design of the shoe. I just don't like the way it actually is. It's just too chunky for me. Like, it looks like a football. Like the shoes is huge. Pause. It's just too big and bulky. It's just too much for me. Like, I'll say it again. To me, the best version of the chunky shoe is the Alexander McQueen's. I feel like
I think it's just enough.
It's enough.
Subtle.
It's subtle. It's like it has a classic like Stan Smith type of silhouette with
the heel isn't like too dominant. It doesn't.
It blends well into the sneakers, so I like that. My boy Karl passed. Karl Lagerfeld passed.
Karl Lagerfeld.
Creative director for Chanel and he also Fendi, right?
For Fendi as well, and his own brand.
And his own brand.
Yeah.
So, long time legend.
Yeah, that was a huge loss for the fashion world.
Yeah.
You know? Big style influencer throughout the years.
A lot of all black. He was like known for wearing all black and his classic ponytail. And it's crazy because I was watching a documentary on Karl Lagerfeld and not necessarily Karl Lagerfeld, but like the release of the Chanel season that's coming out and how they do it at the capsule, and they have like 7 days to get it done. And he was talking about how he could process a design. He doesn't sew.
Okay.
He doesn't sew. He's not a seamstress at all. But he designs. He sketches. So he literally, whatever designs he comes up with as he sleeps, he dreams about designs, and then when he wake up in the morning, he has a notebook, and he starts sketching. And I find that like crazy incredible, because
to dream your work
and like I'm kind of like that with design also. Like I dream about clothes and like outfits and things like that, and like so
allow your imagination to run free and wild, and to actually execute it and put it into the real world. I think that's that's pretty that's spectacular.
And the thing about Karl too, he's a beast with colors. Like he knows his colors. Like it's crazy. It's like he just watching documentary when the girl was like, "Oh, what color is this?" and the girl said it was this color, and he knew what color it was. It's like his wealth of knowledge is crazy. So, a passing of him was a big loss for the fashion world. I'm just interested to see what role he played in the Pharrell collab, because I know Pharrell was an ambassador of Chanel for years, and
now leaned on him for
I know they had to have a good relationship. So for him to co-sign a black male and to allow him the opportunity, because Pharrell has had other opportunities. He's done things with Louis Vuitton, and the things that he did with Louis Vuitton were not a lot, but they were great. They were impactful. The shades, the millionaire shades, were very important to culture at the time. Like it really influenced the design of shades, and now his capsule that he's doing with Chanel is going to be important. But what has been transpiring a lot lately, I feel, in our fashion industry is guerrilla marketing, and how they've been not being sensitive when they put out these ad campaigns, one, and then also two, when they make product.
Design.
A lot of brands have violated, and legacy houses too. I think the one that was most impactful and probably the most hurtful, I'm going to say, for the black community,
probably Gucci.
Is Gucci.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of brands out there, but I'm gonna be real with you. My experience in life, and for what I see in our community, that is the one high house fashion brand that we really like.
It's held to
like
certain standard.
We like Gucci, and
it's gravitated towards very often. When I feel like Gucci, Prada, and Montclair, the usage, their usage of the blackface was something very distasteful. Disheartening as well. But
I think Montclair wild out the most. Prada wild out too. Prada put those I don't know what the hell they even thought they would do, like ornaments or whatever. With the black face with the red lips. If you don't know what blackface is like imagery that was used back in the day.
It was a racial slur. It was something used for the black race.
Yeah. In films, white men would dress up and paint blackface and red lips.
It was like a coon figure, to describe us.
Yeah, it's
to
dehumanize
us.
Yeah, it's an offensive thing. It's very offensive to the black community, the African American community. Like, I'm African by birth, but I was raised in America, so I very much identify as an African American, and it was very offensive. It's like, when you see it, it's like, we spent all this money with these brands, and it's like, damn, y'all don't respect us, and y'all, like, you feel like you're saying like, oh, you don't respect us. On another note too, I kind of feel like they do it to ignite maybe other races that might be with the shits, that might be on some racial type thing, and it's like, oh yeah, they did that, and
so let's
support, let's support them for doing that. Yeah. And then they probably feel like, oh, eventually we'll forgive them and go back and buy their product. You know what I mean? Like, they're not a Nike. Like Nike has managed to do the right things as far as the brand. Granted, Nike does support like a lot of organizations that might not be exactly in line with the African American, like the NRA or like the Democratic Republic. The Republican Party and things like that. Like, they donate to these different organizations. So don't get me wrong, but far as like how they campaign and how they market and
but they're on point when it comes to like social awareness. And injustices, like by even like offering like Colin Kaepernick a deal to be the face of the Just Do It campaign. Like, I thought that spoke volumes. And
he always had a contract with them. It's just that I think they had to figure out the right way to do it to make it work, and they figured out a way to make it work.
So. And they're very forgiving when it comes to their own like sponsored athletes. So I mean, no one is perfect, and we're all human at the end of the day. But Nike, they'll really stand by you. Whether you're Tiger Woods, Kobe Bryant, somebody that has fallen or has
struggles,
experience, failures in the public eye, like Nike will stand by you.
So even much. Like Serena Williams, that ad, I really like that ad they have for her. Like, all the ads they Just Do It ads were like really good.
And they try to correlate and like tell a story, like in that ad. So like, I think that's pretty cool. Like they do just enough and not too much when it comes to like marketing, but it's always like executed very well, thought and planned out.
So what's so crazy? What I found that was interesting to me is that, like T.I. was saying, like, oh, we're going to boycott Gucci for a certain amount of months, whatever. Like, don't get me wrong, like, I have a lot of Gucci. I wear a lot of, I have a lot of, like, I really do. Like, out of all the brands, fashion brands, I think I do a lot of Burberry and I do a lot of Gucci. And, like, I made more decisions myself, like, I'm not going to burn my stuff. I pay good money for my stuff. I'm not going to burn my stuff. Right? I pay good money for my stuff, so I'm not going to burn.
You just know where you stand.
I know where I stand. And going forward, I'm not going to purchase no more of these brands that violated. So that's the Burberrys, the Gucci's, the Pradas, the Montclair. Like, Burberry was bugging with the noose.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They were bugging with the noose, the hoodie with the noose. They were bugging for that. Like you got to know what that means, and it's like you don't play with suicide, and you don't you don't play with suicide. Like, I don't know how you could think that's even funny when so many, like, even like what's my man McQueen, he killed himself. So like you can't play with suicide, but it was just weird to me how it went straight to suicide and not even thinking about the historical context of what the noose means. Like. That was used to kill black people. Before it was considered for suicide.
Exactly. Okay. So like I think that like designers and like creative directors and the design teams, they do have an obligation to, become more creative, but also to do their homework and do their research as far as like design inspiration. I'm not sure where they're reaching at as far as like using like a noose or like a blackface. What is so appealing about that?
Yeah.
Or incorporating that into a design anyway. Like there is nothing that's appealing about those elements, regardless. There's no beauty of a noose or a blackface. Like why would you even consider that as like a inspiration or design element? So I feel like there's been like a strong lack of creativity and responsibility as well.
Yeah. So I'm like that lets you know the lack of diversity or the right type of people in those rooms. Like they don't have the right type of people in those rooms. Yeah. Or if people that look like us in this room, they're being cowards and afraid to address it and say, yo, y'all are bugging. This is a violation. This is not go well with with the African community
or any community, because like it could be other racial slurs towards other races that we may not know of, but still it's just the same. Like it's always us that get attacked. I've never seen them make a design that was offensive to Jewish people. I've never seen it. Yeah, or Asians.
I've never seen it. It's always African American. Yeah. So that's when this whole thing of a lot of
and there probably has been, but not as often as aimed towards us and our history and our culture, and I just feel like it's just fashion or clothing, but it's still an art form, and it should be executed in more of a classier manner.
So another thing that emerged during that whole fashion week,
blackface tension, bro. Yeah.
The need for the support of black brands.
Yeah.
And the need, so outside of Off-White, which is Virgil, and Fear of God, which is Jerry's. What other brands? Outside of the Kanye nucleus, the Just Dances, like they've all gotten great opportunities and they're working at opportunities, and we do support them. Off-White is like one of the hottest brands. Everybody supports them. But what about the little guys, the guys that haven't made it yet?
And that's just as talented, or probably even better as far as creative levels. I feel like there should be more opportunities, and there should be doors open for those guys as well, and I feel that it will happen in due time, especially now.
But don't get me wrong, out of all the brands that violated, Gucci did the most in their apology. They didn't just give you a apology. They went and met with Dapper Dan in Harlem, and I guess they sorted things out. But they actually put an action plan down. They stated
an
initiative, all the things they would do and incorporating people of diversity, doing things in the community. Like they really went in a depth action plan to try to make sure it never.
And I see African Americans with Gucci more than any race in this world. Yeah. We do have the biggest buying power in the world, in the global markets. So I feel like they should make it right. You know what I mean?
So I will say that much is I'll give them that much. They actually seem to have, if they mean it or not, they seem to have put a lot into play in that apology. Whereas these brands normally just say, "Oh, we're sorry," and that's it. Yeah. Fuck you, sorry. Like that mean like we don't want to hear that no more. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
where's your free pop-up shops and sponsor some inner city schools uniforms or something like that, But I'm just putting that out there. I mean, in the perfect world, but we just asking to see some action.
Just don't just give us your I'm sorry's. Get out of here with that. Know what I mean? Yeah. We don't want to hear that sorry stuff no more. It's it's over with that. So I guess then again it's why we gotta wait for stuff like that to happen to be like, oh, we're gonna support black businesses and support black brands. So a thing about black businesses and black brands, I feel like us as like supporting each other. I think the issue is we don't give ourselves time to grow. Like these other companies and fashion houses and whatever,
they've been established for.
They heritage
decades.
brands. They've been established forever. So, with the history of slavery and all the things, like we're so behind in that aspect, but we influence everything. We are culture. Everything, like it's not fresh unless we have touched it or
we put a stamp on it.
We put a stamp on it. So I feel like we gotta give entrepreneurs and the guy with the t-shirt line or the time to grow. I know just having a t-shirt and some hoodies isn't a clothing line, but it's a starting point, and we gotta give them an opportunity to grow. But another thing too, I feel like a lot of time independent.
Yeah, the business has to be more consistent.
Yeah. Sometimes professionalism.
Yeah,
customer service component has to be there. If you can't fulfill an order, if you can't get things to a person, don't ignore emails. Don't not respond back. Just like beg if you have to. Like please, you know what I mean? Put your pride aside and let the consumer know. Like listen, we're up and coming brand. We're really we're trying. Please give us this certain amount of time. Be patient with us, please. So we can be like okay, like we understand the struggle and we'll rock with you. But to not do that component is the issue. Because like. I feel like we also as consumers need to give them time to grow and develop.
It's sort of like building a plane and flying it at the same time. But you gotta keep flying it, unless you're not gonna go anywhere. Just be patient with any of those up and coming brands that you do favor or like, and kind of watch their journey of growth, in the industry. But definitely support.
But another thing too, that this is a designer, black designer on Instagram. His stuff is somewhere in America. He makes cool shoes. He sews. He actually sews. He does a lot in the community too. He works with kids in his community. He does like Saturday classes with them. He got sewing machines for them. He shows them how to make patterns, how to show sneakers. Like it's really dope what he does. But
he's teaching them the craft.
Yeah, he's teaching them the craft. And what he was saying is that like he has celebrities and stuff that wear his stuff, but what he noticed is that people want stuff for free. It's like you can't always want stuff for free. Like especially if this is a black owned business and he's trying you have no problem. You might get stuff for free from other brands and stuff, but your dollar is going to impact his business, these businesses, more than it will impact the other businesses.
And also, let's be honest, you're not going in Gucci and getting anything
for free. Nah.
And I know you've been in that store. They know you. This guy is known there. He's a familiar face. There, but they have yet to offer anything free.
Yeah. So they don't give anything free. So stop expecting independent entrepreneurs, black-owned businesses to give you stuff for free.
Especially startups, man. Like it's rough out here. Just because someone is establishing or attempting to establish a brand or a company doesn't mean that they are rich or have it to just let you, I guess consume their product at no cost. I mean, it's just unfair. It takes money to make money and to manufacture
especially like if you're doing something like shoes, like just to make the molds cost, and then to even do half sizes cost even more. So that's why like a lot of shoe brands
only got whole sizes,
and like the molds be like 10,000-15,000 for those molds, per size. So
and just taking consideration that all right, this person might be your boy or somebody for a while. Just take into consideration that if it was your brand or if you establish a company tomorrow, like I don't think you would have too many like just from the work that you put in, like you don't want to just give everything away for free. I mean, you still at the end of the day you want to show for something, for your labor, for your research, for your work. Your footwork that you put in. So.
And I want to just talk about something real quick. Whole power of, even if you're not buying it, do one better. Shout them out in your songs. Like when Meek said I could fit about 50 racks in my Mary, You know what that did for Michael Mary brand? He's not a black owned he's not a black owned business, but exactly. I'm pretty sure it did well for Mike, right? And like, don't get me wrong, I like Michael Mary stuff. Like, I think he got some dope stuff. But what if he would have said fear of God? I'm not trying to make it a race thing. I'm just trying to say like, yo, give us a shot too. You know, like shout us out too. If you're not gonna buy, at least rep it in your songs and stuff. Say like that name, shout out the names.
Now I notice he wears a brand
Milano, and that's a female.
She's from Philly, but I don't hear any shout outs.
I don't hear no shout outs
in the song. So and I see a lot of artists
wearing it,
wearing her stuff,
which is
good.
And
the quality isn't too bad. Like I got a pair of sliders, the flip flops. They're cool. Didn't disappoint, but that's just an example. Like we gotta support. Those, communities. Don't be afraid to shout out those brands and those companies. Yeah. So like my man that makes a product from somewhere in America, the sneakers. I like your sneakers and it's dope. So I got to see about ordering a pair that I like, and I think cover a lot, right? Yeah. We cover a lot. Just a couple lower tier collaborations that I noticed that dropped so far within the past a few months. The Sakai Nike collection.
Okay.
Those was pretty cool. I like the colorways and the utilization of the swoosh. Let's see, the ASAP Nast Converse collection.
Mm-hmm.
I just let's see. I just viewed that collection last night. ASAP Nast. He basically.
When does it drop?
He it's already dropped. I was on Converse.com and it's basically like his spin on the Jack Purcell. And they're cool. It's more like a skateboard type of sneaker. Very easy to wear. Black and like this. Like brown colorway and then like black and green. So those are two colorways that's very easy to wear.
Mm-hmm.
Nike SB and Jordan 1s. They have a collaboration right now. I'm not too big on one of the pairs, but like the Jordan 1s, the influence stood the test of times and still resurfacing over and over. Like it's just classic, and Nike Fear of God. I like that collection.
I like that collection. I like a lot of stuff Jerry does. I think
it's futuristic.
Out of all the brands, it's just like making noise. I feel like Jerry stuff is the cleanest.
He doesn't do too much. It's very subtle.
I think it's very wearable. It translate from the runway or whatever to actual everyday wear. I think his
ready
stuff,
to wear. Yes,
very wearable.
And then Subi Denim, I still like them. They're still on my radar. Not mentioned enough, talked about enough. Just minimal distress. It's not a lot of you don't see a lot of like biker influence, biker denim, and nothing like that. Like they had their own style as far as like distress. Somewhat rock influence, but like it's very comfortable as well. Very soft denim, very soft grade. But Subi is cool, and it's like a mid tier. So it won't really. Listen,
I be wearing Zara jeans, though. My jeans is like I don't know why. Like I like Zara like cuts, but not all their jeans. Some of the jeans they be wild with like the cuffs be a little bit too high. Like I don't understand what this whole thing of the ankles being out. And like I don't know. So
exposed ankles. Like I'm not too big on that.
I'm not too big on it as
well, but and a lot of stuff is just trends. So it's just design or styles that's trending right now. But who's to say like a year from now if it'll still be something big? So and I feel like a lot of designers be experimenting as well too. So just trying. Just throwing things on the board and see what's gonna stick. So yeah.
So there you have it, kids. It's a Fresh Cold podcast. My man Mike came through.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? It's Oski Woski 3000. Episode's gonna be going up shortly, and just let me know what y'all think about the podcast.
Any brands, any designers we need to talk about or hit? Like just comment. Just send us the feedback, and we'll get back to you and try to include it.
And follow us on Fresh_podcast. All right, Fresh Code. I'm bugging. Right. Fresh Code _ podcast. That's Fresh Code. So remember, stay tuned to your code and stay fresh. We out.
Peace.
Yeah.